Satnam, it's me, Shakti, Sundari, and this evening I'm just making this little video to talk to you about my upcoming course, Kundalini Yoga course, Radiant Womanhood. Been really inspired to talk to you today because I've just had a couple of really beautiful Kundalini Yoga teaching experiences today and yesterday, and that kind of gave me the impetus to make this video. So I teach Kundalini Yoga classes one-on-one, and I also teach group classes. And last night, one of my private one-to-one yoga clients, I always message before the class normally and ask what's going on so I know what to focus on. And my client said to me, I'm feeling tearful, I'm feeling tired and stressed out and overwhelmed. So I went to my Kundalini Yoga toolbox and I felt into what would be an appropriate class to teach. We teach Kriyas, which is a set of exercises that have a particular effect, and also what meditation would really address her needs. And I taught the class. It was, what came to me intuitively, but also what I know from my many years experience of teaching. And by the end of the class, this client, this lady, was transformed. She was peaceful, she was radiant, she was energized, she was feeling more positive again, and she was so very grateful. And I went away thinking, yeah, that's the power and that's the beauty of Kundalini Yoga. It's like a toolbox, or it's like going to an apothecary or something like this, and you have something that's going on in your life. It can be physical, it can be something energetic, it can be something emotional, spiritual, practical. It can be, I want to make more money. It can be, I'm feeling depressed. It can be, I'm feeling overwhelmed. It can be, I'm stressed. It can be, I want to lose weight. It can be any real life issue that we face, body, mind, emotion, spirit. And Kundalini Yoga will have a solution in terms of a practice that is really going to help you to feel an embodied way, a shift in your inner being, so that you feel happy, so that you feel healthy, so that you feel connected, so that you feel de-stressed, so that you feel harmonious, so that your emotions are balanced, so that your mind's able to focus with greater clarity, all of those things. And then again, this morning I taught my group class, and it was all women this morning, and tends to be a predominantly all-female class. And the energy was very high. There was loads of energy and enthusiasm and excitement in all the women in the class this morning, and always it's different. And I really picked up on that. And we were also talking about Mary Magdalene, the film. So I was talking about how Mary Magdalene was, in my belief and understanding, a sacred sexual priestess. So I was able to bring that aspect of my own teaching in to what was happening in the class, and the excitement and the energy. And again, I taught from intuition and from my experience, a class that was targeted to what was happening in that moment. And we ended the class chanting the Adi Shakti mantra. Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Namo Namo, Sarabha Shakti, Sarabha Shakti, Sarabha Shakti, Namo Namo, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Namo Namo, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Mata Shakti, Namo Namo. This mantra connects us to the essence of the divine feminine, and also to the feminine in her different expressions, different life stages. Adi Shakti, the maiden; Sarabha Shakti, the mother or the creatrix. The Pritam Bhagavati is normally reference to the woman in her mid-years who finds her power and her clarity. And Kundalini, Mata Shakti, is the crone, the wise woman whose Kundalini is awakened and who she stands fully empowered in her radiance and her wisdom. So in chanting this mantra, and there's movements that go with it, we were absolutely in bliss and feeling that sense of community and sisterhood between us. And at the end of class, everyone was just, wow, blissed out, energized, happy, ecstatic, laughing, connected, feeling really healthy and powerful too, because we'd done a strong Kriya physically, you know, and activated. So that's the power of this practice, and that's why I love it so much. And coming up, I'm going to be teaching this online course, Radiant Womanhood, which will bring or kind of give me the opportunity just to share a little bit. I mean, there's just a vast body of wisdom and knowledge and teachings specifically for women in the Kundalini Yoga tradition, because women are so esteemed and so valued and highly regarded, and the power of the feminine and of the woman is seen and uplifted and supported. So that's what, again, is so wonderful about this practice. So in this course, I'm going to be sharing 4 Kriyas, as in Kundalini Yoga and meditation classes, and also 2 live webinars or question and answer sessions where I can talk a little bit more about the teachings, because I sometimes miss being able to share what I know, what there is to share about the teachings, and also have the opportunity for you to interact with me and ask questions and just talk about your life experience, so we can kind of engage and see how these teachings can help and support you as a woman. I want to say a little bit more about Radiant Womanhood, which is the title for the course. So why radiant, you know? Well, in this tradition, Kundalini Yoga tradition, woman is in her essence radiant. She glows from within. It's not about makeup. It's not about clothes. It's not about a facelift. It's not about anything external, although there's nothing wrong with wanting to look and feel beautiful on the outside too. But really, primarily, the understanding is that a woman who is in contact with her true essence is naturally radiant. She is graceful. She exudes light from her eyes. Her heart is open. She loves. She receives. She feels. She creates. And she is incredibly powerful. Don't forget that Kundalini, Mata Shakti, is another name for feminine energy, feminine sexual energy, in fact. Kundalini, Shakti, feminine sexual energy are all synonymous. This is the energy that creates all of life. And as women, we have a more direct capacity to connect with and embody this energy. We are a living embodiment of it. It's just that for all of us, in some different ways, the capacity to know that, to feel that, to embody that, to remember that has been forgotten temporarily. You know, I just want to say about my first experience with Kundalini Yoga when I took my very first Kundalini Yoga class, and I think it was in about 2006, 2007, something like that. I'd been oriented towards this practice because I was already a dance teacher, and people had said to me, wow, you've got a lot of Kundalini, and I didn't know what they were talking about. I just knew that I loved to dance and I loved being in my body and expressing myself. That comes very naturally to me. But I was also going through a very difficult time in my life, very difficult. But I heard about this thing called Kundalini Yoga, and I thought, okay, I'm going to go explore this. I went to my first class. I was blown away by the experience. I loved it. And as I was lying in deep relaxation at the end, I just started to cry my eyes out. My heart burst open, and I didn't know why. I had no idea why. I just knew that I was deeply, deeply touched in my heart and my soul by this practice. And I knew then that I had to teach it without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt. I just knew it. And so on I went to train and become a teacher and begin to share. And I have a particular passion for the teachings for women because this has been my own journey. So coming from a family where it was a very patriarchal household, and my own mother was not empowered and was quite a victim in a way. So that's kind of the model of the feminine that I saw from my primary caretaker, from my primary model of the feminine at first, my mother. And, you know, I went on to work in a very masculine environment. I worked in business and then academia, and I was very successful. You know, I have a great brain. I'm very bright. But I didn't feel right inside. I didn't feel aligned. There was something that wasn't right. And I had this insecurity the whole way through, even though I was very successful, you know. Didn't feel aligned. I was always insecure, and I was carrying this wounding within me the whole time as well about not having the love that I wanted from my father, which is a typical wound for us women to carry in some way or another. Starting out with this practice of Kundalini Yoga was part of my own healing journey, and then going on to teach women's practices, sacred sexuality for women, to become a priestess of the goddess has all been part of my own healing and a part of my own passion to bring the teachings of empowerment, of radiance, of grace, of connecting with our true feminine essence to women everywhere. And that's why I'm so passionate about this. The Adi Shakti meditation, let me just go through that because it will help me to explain again a little bit more about Radiant Womanhood. When we do the movements, the first part of the Adi Shakti is we bring our arms up. I can't quite fit into the screen. And we kind of hold them either side of our head in a way. So, and we rotate. So this is the movement that goes. So this is the maiden. All right. And if we think about how we're cradling our head, it's like we're creating this halo of energy above the head. And we do in fact have an auric field that runs all the way around the body. So our energy extends way beyond the physical body. And when we're radiant, that energy body is massive. It's big. It extends like 9 feet or more around your physical body. When your radiant body is healthy, your physical body is healthy. And when your radiant body is extended through practices such as Kundalini Yoga, but not only, people will feel your energy when you come into the room. You know, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to say anything. It will be felt. So this is the radiant body right here, okay? It's one of the bodies that we work with. And we also have a particular energy circuit that goes here over the head. And women also have another one that goes across the heart from nipple to nipple. So we have 2, men have 1. So we are different energetically. We are different physically. I'm not with the argument that we're the same. We are equal, but we are different. We have wombs, we have breasts, we have a different physiology, we have a different psychology, we have different everything, although we are equal. So in this course, I'm not pretending that we are the same as men. I am very much saying that we are unique and we are different, and that this practice works with our uniqueness. So the Adi Shakti, the energy body, the radiant body, these 2 arcs of energy across the breasts and over the head. The next part of this sacred prayer, we make the sign of infinity, Sarva Shakti. We use the sign of infinity and we move it in front of the womb space. Now, we have 2 ovaries, and this sign of infinity can be a way of connecting your 2 ovaries. When you meditate and you begin to move energy in your womb between your ovaries in this way, you can activate your sexual energy very powerfully, and you can experience right there and then, just through breath, visualization and movement of energy, orgasmic feelings in your whole body. This is also connecting you in to your immense creativity as a woman. So we create by creating life, but we also create in many other ways. So we don't need to be mothers to be creators and creatrixes. We are all creatrixes, and the womb is the birthplace of our creation into life. This is where we birth from. So connecting to the womb and the sign of infinity is another part of this. Yeah. The next part of this sacred prayer is making the sign of the sword and cutting through. Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Namo Namo. So we are cutting through illusion. We are cutting through bullshit. Our own, first and foremost, and then that which we see outside. But it's always beginning here with us. So no more bullshit, cutting through the illusions, being able to see more clearly. This is the gift that comes to us. We have great intuition as women. Again, Yogi Bhajan says we are 16 times more powerful than men. But most of the time we don't know it, and we're misusing our power, we're misusing our energy, we're misusing our sensuality, we're misusing our creativity. We're either unaware of it, or we may perhaps be accessing it in a shadowy way, or being overwhelmed or overpowered by our emotions, for example. So here we have the clarity of our wisdom, the clarity of our intuition, of our insight, and that alignment with truth. So another part of this practice is that we affirm that we are truth. We are one with truth. That is unwavering. This is the truth that runs through the Sushmuna, the central channel. And again, through regular practice, we align ourselves more and more and more with the truth of our soul. Soul and ego become aligned as one. Yoga means union. We align with the soul. So cutting through the sword, isn't that a powerful gesture to make? It feels so clean, so clear, like no. Boundaries as well, yes. And then the final movement, Kundalini Mata Shakti, the crone, the wise woman, the Kundalini risen, is the sign of the snake rising, and or the Kundalini as it rises up through our central channel. Woo! When the Kundalini moves up through the central channel, it stirs at each energy center. It moves unconscious, subconscious, buried, hidden, repressed agendas, thoughts, beliefs. They come, they rise to the surface to be seen. We awaken a little bit more, we awaken a little bit more, we awaken a little bit more. It's a gradual process. It's very, very unusual. I've never met anyone through my own practice who's had a spontaneous Kundalini awakening through this practice. So it's safe. This is not a dangerous practice. We awaken bit by bit, but we can also feel that flow of energy through the central channel. That is the Kundalini, that is the Shakti, that is the feminine life force. When we open to it, it's not just flowing through our center and through our chakras, it's flowing through every part of our body. Blissful, everywhere. And we become physically, energetically at one with all that is. We sense that, we know it, we feel it. So the feminine is the circle, she is the egg. She is complete in herself. Yogi Bhajan says this. So she's the circle, the masculine is the sperm, right? Very different. But again, so often we forget that we are complete unto ourselves, and the radiant woman has that sense of visceral knowing of her oneness, of her completeness. She is complete unto herself through her practice. So then all of those issues, like the insecurity, the wounding around the father, the emotional chaos that can happen. Kundalini Yoga gives us the tools, the techniques, the practices to ride with that. Not that we suppress, not that we judge, not that we stop. It's like we acknowledge our uniqueness, our difference, and we work with it. So what Yogi Bhajan calls the emotion and the commotion, we turn to devotion, for example. We find breathing practices that help us to cool down the emotions. It's not about repressing or suppressing or stopping anything. It's about truly empowering ourselves so that, like Pritam Bhagavati, the goddess, we are riding the tiger rather than the tiger riding us. Okay, I think I went on a bit longer than I intended to because I got carried away because I love talking about all this stuff. If you have any questions, please post them below or comments. And the Radiant Womanhood yoga course starts on April the 8th. So what I'm going to be doing is offering 2 webinars, Q&As. So we'll be doing an opening webinar Q&A where we get to meet each other. You can ask me questions. I'll talk some more about this stuff. You know, things will come up, we'll interact. Then we start with a yoga class on the Monday morning, which is live 8 to 9 o'clock. That's UK time. If you can't make the live stuff, don't worry, because you can catch up. So the video's there. You'll be in a private Facebook group where you can watch the video anytime you want and repeat it often. So you don't lose out if you can't join live. Of course, there's a lot of wonderful energy if we are all together live, but if you can't make the live classes, you can catch up in your own time. You can post questions in the group. So you get to be in a private Facebook group. There are 4 classes, 1 each Monday morning. Repeat, and then we'll do another webinar towards the end of the course just to kind of draw everything together. If this is something that interests you, I will post the link below, but you can also just post a comment and I'll send you the information directly. It's just £50 UK, pounds sterling for all of this, so it's wonderful value. And yeah, I'm also just going to mention, let's see, in May I'm going to be offering a Sacred Women's Circle at the Mind, Body, Spirit Festival. Olympia, London, 25th to 28th May. Sacred Women's Circle with me is on Saturday, the 26th of May from 10 a.m. till 12 noon. It's going to be super powerful, 2 hours of Shakti, essence, dancing, sharing, meditating, sounding. It's going to be full on, powerful, nurturing, healing. You're going to go away totally connected and blissed out. And one more thing, if you're interested to know more just about Kundalini Yoga itself and you want to experience it live with me, I teach a Friday morning class in the Halen Centre in Crouch End, and I teach one-to-ones. My one-to-ones are brilliant and powerful. So if you have interest in any of that, please post below or send me a message. I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget my website, www.shaktisundari.com. That is it. So thank you for watching if you're there. I'm afraid because I haven't got my glasses on, I haven't been able to read your comments. I can see there are some comments, but I haven't been able to read and respond to them. Next time I'll put my glasses on. But yeah, thank you so much for being with me, and I really hope that you will join me in my Radiant Womanhood course because I'm so looking forward to sharing it with you. So much love and have a beautiful weekend. Sat Nam.